All right, Reggie, before we get into this week's questions and comments, is there anything that you want to speak about?
Yeah. Don't forget y'all next Sunday. Next Sunday is Father's Day. So if any of you guys got problems with your fathers, man, want y'all reach out to your dad and just say Happy Father's Day to him. Try to mend that relationship because, man, y'all just don't know how life is too short. I done had about 4 or 5 friends of mine that just passed away this weekend. And I'm like, man, shout out to my best friend, uh, my boy Frank Woodson. He lost his mother this weekend, and she was a good lady, and he's a good dude, and his sister Fran. So respect and shout out to the Woodson family. Prayers to them. Don't forget, please, y'all, because I'm still trying to convince you, John. You know me, I'm like trying to get this footage out so it won't seem so dated. My interviews, because like I tell y'all, we only tape about every 10 days, and a lot of our stuff appears a little bit dated because of how they come out. So I done convinced John into allowing this channel to for $4.99, the mid-tier membership. You sign up for it, starting about not this set of interviews, but the next set of interviews definitely, because we didn't get enough people to sign up for it. We'll be releasing the full versions on that particular channel, or however that membership stuff work. There's 2 tiers, and so those of y'all that have the $1.99 tier, please upgrade your membership to the $4.99 membership, and y'all be getting Bomb First, and y'all be also getting some exclusive content here and there put up. And y'all know how we do it over here at Bomb First, so I don't have to mention what exclusive information that will be. Other than that, Big John, let's get going. Mid-June. Don't forget, next Sunday is Father's Day. So y'all got all week to prepare to think of what you want to call and say to your father. I know a lot of fathers don't deserve to be a father or considered a father, but there's somebody that was in your life at one point in time, an uncle, a stepfather, a mama boyfriend, somebody that you consider your father. And so prepare to do something nice for them for next weekend. Other than that, let's get going, John.
Okay. I wanted to get your opinion or your thoughts on Suge's podcast, at least on the YouTube side. There's been a rapid decline in views, and I wanted to see if you had any thoughts or logic as to why you feel the podcast is started to get the results that it's getting now.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I believe his channel he done took it into, and what happened is y'all don't understand. A lot of the motivation and the things that we say come from reading the comments. Y'all know I'm a troll in the comments. Anybody that's really been on the Bomb First YouTube channel comment sections know. Usually in the first 10 hours, 8 hours of a video, you'll get a response from Reggie, good or bad. But so my point is, so we read those comments, and so we thinking that's where the channel is going, or that's where the people that's are viewing the channel likes to hear. And they don't know that Reggie got this coat. And people over from that's anti-Bomb First. And so we have this coat of people that just go into anytime channels where hoping they talking about Reggie or that they talking about Reggie and scrolls in that comment section. And so it's a few of them, maybe I think it's 100, but okay, let's say 500 of people that have those feelings. And they load up the comment section. And so you're thinking that's what you want to, they want to tap at. And so that's why the people that's creating Suge's content, meaning, you know, the editor and whoever advising him, because I know it's not Suge. Even in the trailer, they put up stuff where Suge's talking, and they'll put up a picture of Reggie in the trailer to get y'all to come over there and watch it. And then once the video posts, it's no mention of Reggie, which is crazy. So they even know that, and they feel that. And it's unfortunate that that particular cult, you know, they were first at Michael Carlin channel. His channel got killed off. Then it was at R.J. Bond's channel. That channel got killed off. Then JMX. Well, y'all call him JMX. I call him JMX. Y'all know that. His channel got killed off. The groupie, he's still trying, but he's still getting his own same little 3,000 people views, which is mainly his cult of probably 500 people that's viewing that. And they in the comment section. And so my point is, that's what done happened. They thinking that's the way to take the particular channel is to be conspiracy. Reggie did it. Snoop did it. This person did it. Blame. Talking about that. And not talking on subjects we want.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
I don't know about you guys, but I grew up almost exclusively on cereal as a kid. And as I got older, my dietary habits changed, and I kind of missed some of those flavors, so I'm glad I found the sponsor of today's video, Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon is the high-protein cereal with 0 grams of sugar per serving. Magic Spoon fits a variety of lifestyles because it's keto-friendly, grain-free, and gluten-free. It's got all the flavor you remember as a kid, but with 0 grams of sugar and lots of protein. Magic Spoon has 140 calories per serving, 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and 4 to 5 net carbs per serving. Scan the QR code or go to magicspoon.com/bombfirst and enter the coupon BOMBFIRST to get $5 off any order. While you're there, make sure you grab a variety pack with all the flavors like fruity, frosted, cocoa, and peanut butter. Peanut butter is my favorite, but you let me know what yours is. Remember, Magic Spoon has a 100% happiness guarantee, so if for any reason you don't like the cereal, just contact their customer support and they'll give you a full refund.
So, Mr. Knight, I know you listening. I notice y'all now saying y'all gonna do y'all channels on a specific date on Thursdays, once a week. That was a suggestion that Reg gave y'all. You know, so I know y'all listening, and and I know how you used to listen to your boy. You know how you used to listen to Reg, so I know you listen to me. So I'm going through all the few suggestions, John, that I just wrote up. Because I know they need a little help with things to talk about that this community, that I think will help this community. Because I love the way Suge talk. If y'all don't know anything about me, I think Suge is, you know, people argue with me and all of that. I think Suge is a genius marketing and stuff like that. I know he's vindictive like me, but y'all never hear me talk about his marketing and his ability to make stuff happen. Now, I know y'all say, well, you said he can't read and all of that. Well, okay. You don't have to be able to read and stuff to be a genius. And I believe he's a genius. So, okay. These are my suggestions. Y'all take it where you want, Mr. Knight. But I'm just trying to help you save it because I need your channel to get out of this 25,000 range for 30,000 range. You know, I do those a day. So before y'all start tapping, that's what me and John average on a day. All of them don't do that. All of them don't do 30. A lot of them do more. A few of them do less. But we deal with law averages. And so Mr. Knight he was hitting home runs, right? He was doing good. You're doing them every 10 days, 15 days, 500,000, 600,000, 400,000. He ain't broke 100,000 in 2 months. So Reg got to help you. Got to get you back on track because I need you to be successful because number one, I'm your fan as well. I want you to do well. But number two, I need it so I can, you know, You helped me with a couple of episodes for a week, responding to your bullshit. And, saying that when it's truthful, but when it's not. Because you have validated at least 20 to 25 things that Reg have ever said, that the janitor had ever said. So it's so funny how the janitor know all of this shit. But you have validated those things word for word. So these are some things that I think, and John, please, if you can think of anything else while I do, please don't hesitate to chime in. Okay, the one thing I need you to address, Mr. Knight, and I think, did Tupac truly sign a death row? Or were you his manager? As some would say, or one clown would say. Address that. Tell us that deal. Explain how that deal went down between you and Jimmy and Interscope and all of that. And then I'll help you if you need some help, because I know you don't really know, because Reg dealt with that, with the breakup with the estate, and you're dealing with the estate and no rights and no deals, but you know about them, because I had to run everything by you, or David Kenner, whoever was dealing with you at the time. So talk about that, man. That's what people want to hear about. What happened at the World Club? There's this guy out here, the thing with BJ, when BJ got killed the next day, the dude BJ, when we got into that incident at the World Club, well, there's some rumors out here that people have been talking about that you got beat up prior by this dude, Bruce. You and Munchie got knocked out and beat up about a year or something prior at a Fridays. Talk about that. Tell if that's true or not. What happened in that? I didn't know about the Fridays incident, but I definitely know about the Worlds, because Reg was standing right next to you when that happened, with 6 feet deep and all of that. Talk about shit like that, big dog. What happened at the Soul Train Awards? Explain that. You talked about it a little bit. You got mad at me because I played my double agent and didn't let all those dudes go in there and rush the stage. Yeah, well, I saved your ass that day. Yours and the company. I was looking out for the bigger picture when they wore the P-Funk shirts. Shout out to the P-Funk shirts. We still got them. Make sure y'all go pick them up. But that'd be a good story to tell. That's what happened at the Soul Train Awards. Did Puffy run? What he did? In your own words. Did Biggie run? What was Pac thinking after that? Why was you mad because Don Cornelius elected to have Biggie open the show and not Tupac? But he called you and told you, hey, still show up, young man. I got a big surprise for you. When he gave Tupac Me Against the World album over Biggie's album for Rap Album of the Year. Talk about that. That's a good story. People want to hear those type of stories for you. Not this. Snoop did this, Snoop did that, Reggie did this, 59-year-old rappers are too old. Those are good comments. Those are good things to talk about. I kind of agree with you. I'm one of those that don't like older rappers either. But when you build your whole show just on that, okay. Do you feel Tupac would have left Death Row? People were saying Tupac was preparing to leave Death Row. Explain that. Explain what you and his situation was. Talk about that, big dog. Was Tupac gonna leave Death Row? What's your opinion? Reg done told his opinion about him building the euthanasia, the company and all of that, and everything is gonna be up under your umbrella with Death Row. And you was creating Machiavelli Records, or he was creating Machiavelli Records. Talk about that. The Quincy Jones situation with Quest. What was Tupac doing with that? Did you know about that? That's the type of stuff people want to hear about from you, Suge. Something personal that I like for you to address for the trolls, the people that's in your comment section, the ones that love you. I know if you want to get back at me, you can throw this at me and try to, lie and make up like you've been doing on your boy, but that's all good. It's all fair and war. But they've got people saying Reggie Sr. is the one that walked out Orlando out of the hotel. You ever hear any shit like that, Suge Knight? Was Reggie Sr. out there with us? Was Reggie Sr. the one in the lobby and all of that? You know if that was true or not. You know if anybody was saw Reggie Sr. there. Hey, speaking on MGM, that picture that show that people talking about with G and all of that, the guy in that yellow shirt or yellow outfit, that's Rick James, y'all. That is not George Williams, aka Monkey Man. that particular picture. But I know a lot of y'all been checking out that what you call it, that episode that's been posted up over there. It's about 75 to 80% accurate, but they do have some pictures that are inaccurate in there. And that's Rick James, Victor Welch, not George on one of those pictures. Did Dan really cry? Dan. Did Daz? Y'all know I be typing shit wrong. Did Daz really cry? Tell the story about when Daz came to the visitor room and he got up and started crying. You know, Big C style trying to make it like he was there and did this and did that and threatened you and said that, you know, you got a family too and all of that, which I don't remember. I don't think nothing like that happened. Big C style was always solid with us. And so I don't see the situation or the conversation going like that. But tell that story about when you told him, dog, I'm not doing no more albums on you as an artist. I want you to be a producer. You're a hell of a producer. Concentrating on being a producer. And Daz got up out of the visitor room, walking out down there crying when you told him that and hurt his little feelings. Talk about shit like that, stories like that. I think that would be a good one. Hey, this is the main one, a big one. I know you always say when people ask, and I understand why you say it. I totally understand why anybody that's a cop other than Reggie, you always say those Reggie guys. Because I'm the one brought in. I can't think of one cop that you told me, Reg, hired this guy. Hired this guy. You let me control that. So I understand why you say those are Reggie guys when they ask you about David Mack or Rafael Perez or anyone else. Address that. These are Rapport cops. You know it was only 2 cops. Well, you don't know. I believe you don't know. But address if you ever seen David Mack. They said because your attorney, Don Ray, who I guess you only want to have attorneys in LA County and stuff, because Don Ray was one of your attorneys on one of your cases that knew David Kenner, that's the reason why you know David Mack, because you hired Don Ray to represent David Mack. Which is the craziest shit. I guess you hire every attorney for every guy that was facing a criminal case. But talk about that. I don't want to coach you, lead you. You ever met Rafael Perez, David Mack? Were they your private hitman squad? As some would suggest, when they say, okay, we believe you didn't know him, Reg, but Suge definitely knew him. That's something to talk about, something to address. I'm just giving you ideas, dog. I can go on and on and on subjects, dog. I'll do this every week for you if you want. Because you got to remember, Toy, no disrespect to her, smart, educated, USC graduated young lady. But she don't know the stuff that we was going through in 94, 95, 96, 97, 98. 99, 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like Reg. Nobody in your life knew everything like that. There's stuff that Reg don't know about that went on in your life that you was doing. But Reg don't know all these different subjects. Have never talked to you about all these different subjects. So that's the only reason why Reg giving these advice on things that need to be addressed in his opinion. I'll do one more. And then we'll let you see if you decide to respond, if you decide to take my advice, or if you tell me to go f my fat ass self. Cool. Just trying to help. How could you trust Kenner after he was caught stealing? Well, yeah, I'll let you address that subject. But that's the topic. This is to discuss the relationship between you and Kenner. Why you brought him back in on your trial in 2016, 2017. Why you allow him to handle your civil case? I understand the relationship. I understand how things went down and happened. So I don't have a problem with it. But explain it to people. That's a subject or topic for discussion. All of this blame, man, everybody that was in your life all this time, okay, we all might have did something bad to you. I can't think of nothing off the top of the head other than sitting next to Tata Lloyd Lake, which is funny. People always say, "Oh, niggas only talk shit about shit when he was locked up." Well, you know me, Rick. You know me, Suge. I always respected the hell out of you. I ain't never in my life feared you. But I respect you. And if I want to keep it real, got love for you. But you know, Reg have said things that hurt you, just like you have said things that hurt me. And that's generally how a lot of relationship has happened since about 2006 to 2007. When I sat next to Lloyd Lake and all of that. Explain that situation. Man, there's so many different situations that we could talk about, that we can just set up and talk about what I would think would keep the intertwine with your smartness on the game that you're given about the that you're giving us about the Kendrick battle and all of that. I love what you said about Mustard and Kendrick Lamar and stuff like that. I love hearing your game like that, how you reached out and extended your knowledge to all the young rappers and stuff. I love it. But you got to put some stuff in that people need addressed, want addressed. Go a little bit more in detail on that situation with Big Jake. People need that explained more, because there's people out there that still believe you's a serial slapper, walking in the club just slapping every motherfucking body. You know that ain't your get down. That ain't how you move, sure. People want to put that bag on you, but that ain't you. All right, I'll make it short. Peace.
Reggie, I don't know if you saw this, but over the last couple of days, there's been a lot of chat about Bun B being the snitch. What do you think about that, and what are your thoughts when it comes to that?
I hate you, new generation motherfuckers. That's on the YouTube. I hate you. I think they call y'all Generation Zen or something like that, Generation Zen. And we are, I guess, X or whatever. Or I think I'm even in another generation. I forget not the millennium, but it's another. They used to call us. It might be X. But, man, just because, and I listened to a Clubhouse interview that Wack100 had to do a couple of days ago. A guy kept saying, Reg a snitch, Reg a snitch, Reg this, Reg. And Wack was like, Reg ain't never, number one, claimed to be a gang member and all of that, or all of that. I disagree. I think I'm a gangster. I think there's gangsters in every walk of professions. But I never claimed or wanted to be or desire to ever say I was a gang member or a gang banger. And so I totally agree with that. But Bun B was an ex-rapper. He's an ex-rapper, right? This man is an entrepreneur now. I think he's big with some hamburgers or some vegan burgers or something like that, some type of hamburgers or something. Got a chain of them. And he's an older man. And so y'all want to call this man and address this man as being a snitch because he got on a stand of somebody who knew it was his motherfucking house and go in his house and try to rob his family, a home invasion on his family. And then he did a gangster move by going and chasing the dude down and shooting one of them and ran them off and saved his wife from whatever happened to him.
He got emotional on the stand today, recalling that night and telling the court that his wife didn't deserve the trauma that Jackson has caused. Listen to him recalling why he felt the need to go after Jackson that night with a weapon.
Just the idea of seeing my wife in this state, hearing her voice in this state. I mean, I'm her husband. That's my primary job, is to protect her and make her feel safe. And I wanted to know who had done this to her.
And then he goes to court and get emotional. Man, y'all don't know because y'all don't love nobody enough. When you love a woman and you in a situation like that, it gets you emotional. So because he had a few tears and had some, got a little emotional when he's talking about what had happened to his wife, he's a snitch, man. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. That man is not a snitch. And for those of y'all that's putting that out there, man, there's something wrong with y'all. My point is, and I know y'all say, oh, you's a cop, you think that way. Yeah. This motherfucker go in there and rob, and he go to court and testify and say what he want to happen to this man. Man, y'all are so wrong. Y'all are so wrong. But y'all be the same ones in there. Oh, yeah, this person need to go to jail. This person need to go to jail. Or the ones that reporting on YouTube because somebody say your mama sucked dick or something like that. Y'all the ones that reporting, ban his channel for a day. Or ban him. Or I'm reporting him. But, hey, man. All I got to say, I don't know Bun B personally other than his music and stuff like that. But he did what he had to do. He's a grown man. He's an entrepreneur now. And for that, if that's what y'all consider snitching, y'all need to reevaluate things, man. That man, that young kid went in there, robbed his family, could have hurt his family, could have his wife, could have killed his wife, but luckily the situation went into the positive for him. He did things. He shot a guy running away and all of that, which I would have did too. Bun B ain't been trained. He's a fleeing felon. It's legal in most states to shoot a fleeing felon when you know that it is. So for those of y'all saying, well, he shot him in the back running away. Well, he shouldn't have came in his house. He shouldn't have violated his family like that. I just have a problem. I know there's some YouTuber channels that's defending him. Shout out to you guys. But I know there's some that's like saying, he should have just went to court and said, yeah, guy can't try to rob my wife, and I shot him, and that's all I got to say. Don't agree with that, y'all. And I would caution you, before you type stuff like that, before you YouTubers put out stuff like that in the airway and want to make everybody a 6ix9ine. I keep telling y'all, a snitch is a person that snitches on their crimey, the person that they doing it with. Use a witness, a victim, any other situation. And that is not a snitch or an informant. So y'all evaluate that. If y'all got a little young baby, go and look at her eyes and say, or his eyes. If somebody do something there, what would you do? Maybe a grandma. I know a lot of us, for some reason, we don't love mama and daddy like we love grandma and grandpa. So I'll say, look in grandma and grandpa's eyes and say, if somebody do something to them, how would you handle it? What would you do? Before you go and type in and call somebody a snitch or create a video and put it up on YouTube saying this is snitching and all of that, because of what he did in his past as being a gangster rapper and all of that. Now he's never supposed to be able to have emotions, because that was the main thing that I didn't like. People talking about because he got a little emotional on the stand. I mean, y'all just don't know how people that you love, you really love, and y'all got them in your life. Y'all just don't want to apply that to people that you love. You want to apply that to their situation. How that can make you really get emotional. But learn the difference, y'all, and research and just think about, and this is all I will say, is think about the word victim, witness, and I can't even think of the person that you commit a crime with, conspirator or whatever. Those are a big difference, people that you decide to do something with. I do have a problem. I won't tell you, even as a cop. I tell you all the time, Cops hate rats and snitches. They use them, but they hate them more than they do suspects or bad guys, to be honest. But they know they got to deal with them, and so they do. But eventually, they're going to get rid of them. They always institutionalize their snitch or their informant. I'm telling you, I know very few situations where their informant, their snitches, their rat didn't eventually get outs by one of their homeboys or something orchestrated by them. Well, that would be my take on the Bum Beat situation. Don't like to speak on situations too much. Other situations other than death row stuff or stuff that's associated to me. But I know there's been a lot of chatter on the internet about it in the last few days, and I just want to give the input of trying to explain to my younger generation the difference between a witness, a victim, your emotions, and a person that you decide to get in the car and do a crime with, and then you want to go and just don't tell your side or what you did, but want to implement them to give you a better deal. Those are the ones that I agree with y'all. I'll be calling a rat and a snitch right along with y'all. But for a person somebody that you love, somebody that you don't love or you didn't saw that get victimized and you help out, not a rat in my book, not a snitch in my book. And so I know I have a different book of people that I consider friends and all of that, because most of you gangster people that's saying, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about and this and that, probably wouldn't be your friend no way. So, hey, that's me. Peace.
Last week seemed to be a interesting and busy week for you. It seemed like a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but the few people that you've in the recent memory have had issues with online, either reached out to you, like attempted to reach out to you, or you actually spoke to. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. I guess I'm betraying their confidence a little bit, but I'll talk about it because I need to let my people know that who I'm having a problem with and who I don't think I have a problem with. Don't think I'm friends with any of them. Wouldn't say I'm friends with now, but I'll tell the people that recently that I was beefing with, that I think we done had a decent, respectful relationship with now, or I'm no longer would be beefing with them publicly, unless they decided to take it another place. You can always disagree with me. Just like with the groupie, Delray. Me and Delray could talk and communicate with each other, believe it or not. Believe it or not, John would be, every time he laugh at me, like, how you talk to that dude? I'll be like, no, just because somebody don't agree with me don't mean I can't fuck with him. I just talk shit about him, and, but I actually kind of like him personally. I just think he's an idiot on his belief. But that ain't one of the persons I'm talking about, trust me. I was just doing another example. But the people that has reached out to, shockingly, I had my boy Alonzo Wills, y'all know, the guy that was very, very, very well connected with the formation or the group, the NWA, or he lost now. But I ain't going to get into that. But he reached out to me because Jaguar Wright and her people wanted to say, hey, can we have a truce? Do you need us to do an interview with you? Can we do an interview together? And I was like, nah, I don't need to do no interviews with her. I don't need her crowd because I believe that's a conspiracy crowd. But as long as she leave me alone, I'll leave her alone. Y'all heard the interview with Snoopy Badass and myself. Snoopy, actually, somebody that I kind of like. Think he, got some issues. He needs some help. In my opinion, some development help as far as, I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong word. But I think he's been misguided on some things. But that's a dude that I want to help somehow. I wanna help that dude for some reason. And me and him are good. We're in a good place. I call him Luch, but Luch Cannon, that dude is a crazy. That nigga, him and Wack100 deserve to be friends. And those dudes are two of a kind to me. They will troll the hell out of you once you on their bad side. And so me and Luch, I don't know if he ever heard those things I said about 10 or 15 minutes prior to us getting on the phone and working it out. And I know he never backtracked his lie, which, I guess that's just him. But I think me and him are in a good place at this point. The jury is still out. We'll wait and see. But it's something about him I like trolls, I guess. I like motherfuckers that just would troll you till the end. And just be like, hey, you mention my name and we're going to fight till the end. And so, but I'm glad that it appears that he and I are on the same page. I spoke to Big 600. I never had an issue with 600. And he said something to me at the end of the conversation and be like, hey, we all good now. We all good now. I was like, I didn't know that me and Big 600 had any issues or ever said anything about each other. I think they took something that I said, him and Luch, and thought I was trolling them when I was actually trolling Big Baby and the people that worked over at No Jumper, and not so much them. But those would be two people that I'm hoping and I think I have a cool relationship with now. Somebody else, John, that I spoke to this week. Let's see, I said, well, and then Adam 22. Like I explained to Wack, I don't have a problem with Adam 22. But yeah, that's all I can say about Adam. We'll see how that goes. But I don't really have no problem with Adam 22. So yeah, those would be the people that I have spoken to this week, and I think that those issues been put behind us, and where I can just concentrate on trying to get things right or keep them where they at. I don't care. With Mr. Knight and collect calls. Hopefully, me and him will be able to get on the same page. And I'm willing now. I think I'm at the point today. What's today's date? Sometime in the week of June. Oh shit! I don't even know the date, y'all. June the 10th, 11th, 12th. I'm in that time frame or that week is really to amend things with Mr. Knight. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But hey, y'all, like I tell y'all, Reggie Wright is the type of person that you reach out to me, extend the hand, and we talk about it, work it out, and I'm not going to hold no grudges. Never been the type to hold grudges. As y'all saw, y'all remember, anybody that really been around, how me and RJ Bonds used to go at it. And then we worked out things for a minute. Now, I'm not saying I don't eventually become your enemy again, because, I'm very sensitive. And I hate that word sensitive. That's a word that you use for a bitch. But I extended it. Jane Deal, I extended it. I think those are the only two that I really extended. J-Mix, I extended it for a minute. And then he eventually bit me. He laid the legend. I tried to extend it him. But then he went off into the sunset. Y'all remember that clown? But hey, that's just me. You ask me for and say, hey, let's make up, let's do this, then I'll give you that. Who are we to be holding grudges and to thinking we God and can judge people? And so that would be my take. That would be my reasoning. And that would be what happened, John.
Okay. And a lot of that stuff that you talked about, the speaking with Snoopy Badass, speaking with Loose Cannon, and talking to Wack100 about Adam 22 and all that, can be watched on one of our live streams from last week.
Great point. It's on our most recent live stream. And it's 4 hours, but I listened to it, and it was a good listen to. It was very entertaining. So, yep.
Okay. The other day, Daz and Corrupt were on Drink Champs. I wanted to see, I have a couple questions specifically about that interview, but I wanted to ask overall what your thoughts were and if anything stuck out to you, if you were able to catch it.
Damn. I was wrong. I was wrong like a mother. I put Corrupt on this deathbed, y'all. I'm fucked up. Corrupt just got that drinking problem. That nigga is still sharp as a motherfucking cat to me. He looks fragile. I'll give y'all that. But I listened to that interview and I was very well entertained by Corrupt. I was like, okay, this is still the nigga. This that writer. This that well-read person that is obviously he is. Because he was on this game, y'all. And, like I said, he's still a little fragile. And that's just because I think once he started drinking, he's obviously have a drinking problem. He has a drinking problem. And from the interview that's going on, or maybe just concluded on my boy Arthur Dogg Log show with Ray J. Ray J has a drinking problem too. But other than that, I learned from that interview, I learned that
Dad sacrificed. We all sacrificed. Dogg sacrificed because he got an album dropping in July.
That's what I said. That's something for him to.
What? His album with Dr. Dre dropping in July.
He got an album coming out next month with Dr. Dre.
Oh, wow.
So, you know,
on Death Row?
No.
It's Death Row.
No, is it
Aftermath Interscope.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Damn, Death Row, Aftermath, and Interscope.
Isn't that incredible?
Got that. Make some noise for that.
Dr. Dre did that.
Well, that an album about to come out, right? That I've been saying wasn't going to come out, John. They say it's going to come out next month. They've been teasing us for it each month, right? They told us it was going to come out in May, before the Dogg Pound album post came out, which came out, I guess, June 6th or something like that, John. But they told us that particular album was going to come out, the Snoop and Dre. I told y'all it wasn't coming out on Death Row. I knew that. And Dre, I kept telling y'all how Dre stuff can only be distributed by Priority and only going to come out on Interscope Records. And so we learned that from that particular interview. I want y'all to listen to this part from Corrupt.
All right. If Nate was alive,
yeah.
You understand me?
He would have brought a whole nother depth to the project.
Real talk. Every album since Nate passed away would have been on that level.
Right. Would have been.
Hey, look, as long as you have 50,000. And then after as long as you have 50,000, you would be there. But then after Fat Joe said, "Nigga, yesterday's price ain't today's price." Right. If Nate Dogg was alive when he said that, that 50 would have turned to 250,000. Around with Nate. Yeah, give me the 250,000, and then send the record to me after you send me the first payment, and then
that's a good charge, though.
You know what he call that? The homie price.
Now, do that explain to y'all that Tupac payment to Nate Dogg? Do it explain that the payment to Nate Dogg? Where everybody always, why Suge or why Death Row applying stuff to Nate Dogg? Did y'all hear what Corrupt said? Did y'all really listen and digest what Corrupt was saying? How Nate Dogg was about his songs and being on people's hooks? We know on Tupac's songs on Death Row, Nate Dogg, I did about 4 or 5 songs. John, you the historian there. I'm sure you know him. I can't think of none but the singles, All About You and Scandalous. But John will mention it to us. If not,
Yeah, he did Me and My Homies, which was a Nate Dogg song. He did All About You, like you mentioned, Scandalous, like you mentioned, Teardrops and Closed Caskets, and Changed Man.
So that right there will explain to y'all why Nate Dogg or child support was billed to Tupac's estate. Keep telling you.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Have you heard of the flavored air category that's quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking? It's a whole new movement towards better habits, led by the sponsor of today's video, Fume. We all have bad habits, including you guys that watch this video. We all think we're doing well, but then we get around our friends and we get the urge and we don't want to feel left out. They're all reaching for their bad habits and you feel, well, why not? Well, what if I could tell you that there is a better alternative that helps you kick your bad habit in an enjoyable way, something you can take out with you and use anywhere. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device. Fume has no vapor. You can use it anywhere. There's no nicotine, there's no toxic flavors, there's no batteries, and it looks awesome. You can pretty much use it anywhere as a fidget or something to replace your bad habit. Go to tryfume.com/bombfirst or scan the QR code in the corner. Use code BOMBFIRST to get your free Fume base when you order your journey pack today. Shout out to Fume for being the sponsor of today's video.
You have to pay for side artists and guest appearance. Now, generally, label mates would exchange. You get on my album, I get on your album. You do my video shoot, I'll do your video shoot. It's usually when you're not on the same album or label that's with no fees and stuff like that kick in. But we all know Nate Dogg's situation, where Nate Dogg was being advanced several dollars by Suge, even just for fighting his robbery cases when he was robbing those Taco Bells. I know that the attorney on that case bill was like $400,000 to $500,000. David Chesnall from Las Vegas, who handled that case. And so my point is, there was money that was being spilled, and that's just the way they were dealing with stuff to justify cutting these checks to people. And that's what had to happen. So, like I keep telling y'all, Death Row did mess up on not having an accounting department. But one thing I'm not going to let y'all do, and y'all know how I talk shit about Suge Knight daily lately. Suge Knight wasn't cheap with money. If you was making him money and you was in business with him, he would spend that money on you. He would make sure all his artists were good. Living like rock stars. Living very well. Y'all ever hear me say anything about Suge Knight that's good? Y'all gonna never hear, or bad? Y'all gonna never hear me say that he was cheap and he didn't take care of his artists financially well. And so that's what I got from that particular Drink Champ interview. I liked about it is they appeared to be on their game. I would caution friends of corrupt to make him just smoke weed. To keep that alcohol away from him, because if y'all notice, he was into the alcohol shots in that particular interview. And y'all notice he said in that interview he can't smoke cigarettes anymore, but he can smoke weed. So there is some health conditions, but I was glad to see. And I even picked up on it a little bit on the Big Boy interview that he did, that Reggie Wright playing doctor, and his diagnosis was inaccurate. Corrupt is not on his, he's not as bad off as I said. I believe the dementia going to kick in eventually, because that is one of the first signs. But he ain't there yet. So shout out Corrupt. Shout out Dogg Pound. I didn't listen to him, John. I was always interested. I was listening to him talking about people on the album or on one of the songs that they did where they were shouting out their friends. And I know this. I forgot to listen to it. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, it'll be interesting to know if he did shout out Tupac or not. Y'all tell me in the comment section because y'all know I'm not going to go and download it and listen to it. But y'all tell me in the comment section, did they shout out Tupac on there as one of the people that were their friends that...
And what was it, a song where they mentioned all the people that had passed that they lost, and you were wondering if they shouted out Tupac in that list?
Yes, correct.
Gotcha.
Because they were saying people that were close and friends. Can help us out with that. Yeah. So shout out.
Okay, Reggie, I didn't know if you... Well, I'm pretty sure you saw it, so I'll get your opinion. On part 2 of Suge Knight's podcast, this last one, he made a comment saying that Diddy had been an FBI informant for years. With you and him talking and stuff back in the day, did he ever talk about that before, or is this the first you're hearing of this?
How would Suge Knight know that? It's so funny how everybody know who FBI informers is, and the only reason you know because you're an FBI informant and all that. Y'all think informers don't talk. They don't tell stuff in advance of what's going on. And it's not like informers are generally not known like that. Now, I know that people that made those accusations about Diddy being one of the ones and Jay-Z going back and giving up the information on them when they were talking about formalizing the Lucky Seven. That's what I always heard it was, the distribution company, when they were trying to make a seventh big major distribution company. And so I know some people made that accusation, but that, because they, Puffy didn't get indicted. I think Marine got indicted at that time, and then they were messing with Suge at that particular time. And then we all know what happened to Jay Prince. But if we look at all three of their situations, we understand why the feds wouldn't after all three of them if we keeping it real. But I do remember, and Suge, I'm going to make you remember, Suge and I were in New York one time. It was just me and Suge. We was on our way actually to meet Sam Snead in Pittsburgh, I think he was at. For some reason, Sam Snead wanted Suge to come to Pittsburgh to meet his father. And we were on our way to go to Pittsburgh. But we ended up not going. We ended up going to Rochester, New York. Not Rochester. Into where JoJo and KC from. Somewhere in North Carolina. But we were on our way to meet Sam, and we didn't go because Puffy called him at the last minute. And this is like before Pop. This was like 90, sometime in 95 though. And we went to his office. We went to Bad Boy's office. And I remember we going there, and in the meeting, I was in the meeting for some reason. I don't know why I was sitting in there. But Puff was complaining about how did, man, these feds are on me like crazy. How did you get them off you, Suge? Because I know they've been following you. And, man, what can we do? What can I do to get them off me? And Suge gave them some bullshit, They probably wasn't on us at that time. I don't think they were. I don't think they got back on us until after the Tupac shooting, which would have been in 96. But at one time, they were on Suge. And so Suge told them some shit about this or this and gave them some bullshit, but they talked about it. So Puff did believe in like 94, 95 that the feds were following him around. Now, we also heard stories, and I know y'all going to tell me in the comment section that Gene Deal went down to the federal government and he was aware of it and told something about Suge and them or something like that. But my point would be, people don't know if they're informants, and if he was an informant, who do he have some paperwork on? Who has he put in jail? Who's went to jail or anything concerning Puffy that we know of? So I'm not here defending Puffy. I think Puffy is the biggest slime ball well, not the biggest, but a slime ball. But I don't know where Suge gets that from. Suge has called Snoop of an informant. Snoop did not testify, threw out a statement before, but I don't believe he was a federal informant. Puff, everybody, I guess, Suge has been called down to the federal government before. I have been down to the FBI office with Suge before, where they had brought him in and called him in. Now, it was generally because one thing y'all don't know is when the FBI on wiretaps and stuff like that, and they hear threats against your life, they can't sit on it. They got to notify you. And Suge has been notified at least 2 to 3 times by the FBI that there's somebody that had a threat on his life, that they overheard a threat against his life being made on some phones. So that would be my take. My only thing would be when Suge making statements like that is, how the fuck would you know? And then if you believe that, if there's evidence of that, who went to jail behind that? I get called being a federal informant and all of that. And number one, I can't be an informant. I was an ex-cop. But number 2, who, other than me being a cop, ever went to jail behind something that I informed on? Y'all pull that paperwork up and y'all show that. Every time I went to court helping niggas. And so that would be my take. It's just everybody always been accused of being an informant. That's our go-to word. You're either an informant, a snitch, or you're a faggot. One of the 3. It's unfortunate that that's just the world we live in now. That's the go back. Or we fucked your wife, or we fucked your bitch. Forgot about those. That's our go-to. And so just when y'all hear stuff like that, y'all just remember that. Y'all put that into, put that into your think. And think about that before you start spitting out or believing what people are saying just because people throw that out into the universe. Yeah.
Okay. Did you see where Howard University stripped Diddy of his honorary degree, and that the mayor of New York is actually considering taking back the key to the city? What are your thoughts on some of the latest news to come out as far as aftermath goes of Diddy's ongoing legal problems, I guess you could say?
Yeah. Well, if y'all go back and listen to an interview that I did when they gave him the key, I said something's going on. I think in that particular interview, I said that it's strange that they're trying to deflect something by giving him this key, and isn't the timing bad to be giving him the key of the city? Even though I think he was trying to promote an album or something, a tour or something that he was about to do. But hey, they did it to Bill Cosby at Temple University. That's something that universities do. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because I believe along with that naming right that he had, it was a scholarship. And that was helping kids. That was helping people. So I would caution universities to maybe take people's name off of it if you can. But still take that money. Even though Diddy probably going, his money going to have to be going elsewhere now. And if I was in no president's or chancellor's shoes, I would take the name, but I definitely would still try to have that scholarship funds available, because that's the unfortunate thing about it, is it's hurting people, that he's trying to help or that's benefiting from it. Would be my thing when I saw that was like, damn, somebody about to lose a scholarship. Somebody that probably was awarded this scholarship back in January and thinking that money was going to be coming for their parents or their own in September, now got to go and find, that supplement that particular money. So I hope when the college does stuff like that, but they at least said, okay, we're going to take this money from you, that, the scholarship from you and this money or the benefits, whatever came along with it, but we're going to replace it with this. This is what, when I saw that, the first thing that went through my mind that had happened. But I totally understand. I know they moved statues on people. They did it to Bill Cosby when his unfortunate situation happened. And I get it. Y'all know my position. As far as people getting the accusations and making the accusations when they haven't been proven, especially from accusations from things that has happened in the past. But we did see the Cassie video, and so I get it. I totally understand. Once that video came out, you can't have your name associated with Diddy anymore. And I don't know what companies are still in business with him, but I know the alcohol company have cut ties with him. I know Revolt deal is finally done, and they have cut ties with him. And I wonder if he have any current distribution on Bad Boy Records. I'm sure they'd be the next company that would be cutting ties with him. And it's going to keep happening, especially once that video surfaced and hit the streets. It was unfortunate. But Diddy gonna have bigger problems. He gonna need his money diverted because those lawyers about the court system about to drain him. Trust me. Still 2 months away from my prediction of him being indicted and arrested, and it'll be happening real soon. And that's where all his money and his attention be going to if he elects to stay here, which I believe is a small chance that he will be staying here or minimum or worstly staying here on earth. So yeah. Shout out to Ms. Wallace. I see she finally spoke out on this matter and this issue as well. And his actions have hurt a lot of people. And I saw even Kim Porter, father, have even spoken out recently on TMZ. And so, I think it's raining on this young man. And there ain't going to be no coming back for Diddy. And so, Diddy got 3 options, y'all. Diddy Futures got 3 things. 3 things. A company that doesn't extradite. Going to meet his maker by the hands of himself. And in prison for a long time. A lot of people always say, I hope he goes in prison with Suge. Well, that would be the type of yard he'll be on, because that's a soft-ass yard. But y'all got to remember, these are federal case, a federal investigation that's going down, and not a state case that's going down. State case will be in the state of California. The feds, you can go to any institution in these 50 great states. So just learn that. So a lot of people stop saying that he's going to go to jail, he's going to be in prison with Suge. That'll never happen unless they should pick up a federal case. Yeah.
Did you catch on Suge's podcast where he said that Martha Stewart became friends with Snoop Dogg because she wanted to prove her blackness or gangsterness or whatever, and that she was friends with Snoop Dogg and Snoop Dogg put the hit out on Tupac? Did you catch that?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And I'm tired of beating this horse. And so I need to stop talking about it because y'all probably tired of hearing me saying it. I'm not a Snoop Dogg fan as far as, him rewriting history. Musically and all of that, I have no problem with Snoop. And even what he's been doing lately, other than rewriting history. But I'm not going to sit here, as long as I have a little voice, sit here and allow Suge Knight to keep putting the murder of Tupac on Snoop Dogg. There's not 0% chance, 0% chance that Snoop Dogg knew or anyone knew that that was going to happen that night. The only person that knew that was going to happen that night is probably about an hour before, after the incident in the MGM, that I believe Keefe D, Orlando, and that crew planned to go and confront Tupac, Suge, or whomever. So all of this conspiracy and this TV and the stuff that y'all learning from TV and movies and all of that stuff, all these big conspiracy and plots, it didn't happen. That is not why Tupac Shakur got shot and later died that particular night. So y'all be like, well, because Snoop kept asking Tupac, why are you gonna go to Vegas? Are you going to Vegas? And that's why this poor man is getting accused of a murder. It's unfair. It's not right. If he made those statements and when he made those statements, that's just making conversation. You know, hey, you going to the fight? He trying to feel Tupac out, trying to get back cool with Tupac, not to see if he going. Not to see if he's going to be there. Yeah, he knew he was going to be there. There wasn't no chances of him not going there because he had to do that benefit fight. He probably would have backed out if he didn't have to do that benefit and if he didn't want to be picking up trash on the side of the freeway. And so he was fearful that he was about to go back to jail, which it was possible. Not in New York, not on the appeal case. He had a probation hearing in L.A. he was still fighting, where he might have to go do some kind behind the Huge Brother assault. I think the court date was like on the 13th or something like that of September. So I'm saying all that to say, man, nobody knew what was going to happen to Tupac that particular night but God. And then Orlando and them, and about an hour before. So that's Suge's go-to card, y'all. Y'all ain't noticed. And he good with it, and then y'all fall for it. Y'all fall for it. Every person he hates or he's mad with, he blames on having something to do with the demise of Tupac Shakur because he know y'all eat that up. Y'all turn on those people quickly. All he has to do is say that. But how many rappers? And that's the new go-to thing that he said to pump up rappers. I'll tell y'all a few, just that I can think of off the top of my head. That he goes and be like, yeah, you remind me of Tupac. That's something that Tupac would have said. Because he know y'all, they eat that up. I done heard him tell Nick fucking Cannon that.
Should call me the new Pac. I ain't no killer, but don't push me.
As a rapper. I mean, as an acting and all of that, I can see that. But as a rapper, Nick Cannon, I heard him tell Ja Rule that. He reminded him of Tupac, and he's going to be the next Tupac, all right?
Asked me a question, and when I answered, he said, yo, that's exactly what Pac said.
Which, this is...
And he got real emotional.
So this is real. This is true.
Real. This is real shit.
P.D. Pablo, next Tupac. You going to be the next Tupac. You remind me of Tupac.
Another person have the work levels of Tupac. But God have his ways of sending people to you that do the same thing. That's him, P.D. Pablo. That's my little brother too. P.D. Pablo and Tupac would have been road dogs.
The list go on and on and on. That's just what Suge says when he wants to will you in. he compare you to Tupac, or if he want to hate or turn somebody against you, you had something to do with the demise of Tupac. And unfortunately, that's the card he's playing. He's bigger than that. You're smarter than that shit. You don't have to do that, dog. But who am I to tell you what to do?
I know this is a very conspiracy theorist, but I know you found or you saw a video with Frank Alexander where he talks about the meeting in the lawyer's office and all that stuff. Did you want to talk about that and discuss some of the inaccurate things that are out there as far as on the internet versus what Frank is saying in this video that you found?
Yeah, if you could play it so people know what we're talking about.
In this particular time when I got to Vegas the night before September 6th, on September 7th, we had a meeting at this attorney's office. And at this attorney's office, his name was George Clinesis, something like that. And we were told by him, this attorney, that we couldn't carry our guns and this and that, blah, 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 to the club that night. And it was three of us, like Michael Moore was one of them, myself, and Al Gittins, who is still with Snoop to this day, said, no, we carrying our guns. We're going to, we worked it out to where we were going to carry our guns, but we were going to have to leave them in our car while we were inside the club. Okay. And that's how my gun ended up in my car and not on my person that day. And I didn't have time to get my gun because my gun was on the other side of the valet where I had parked earlier that day. And when Pac and Suge was ready to go, they were ready to go. And I couldn't get to my car. I had a SL 500 also, at that time. And I couldn't get to it, so I didn't have it. And Pac, I was getting in the car with Pac and Suge. I literally had my hand on the back door, opening the back door. And Pac stopped me and turned and said, hey, Frank, here's the keys to Kadada's car. You go drive with the Outlaws so you could be our designated driver and drive us back after we leave the club tonight.
Okay. So y'all got to remember, I didn't listen to all of the interviews that was done on YouTube. Quite frankly, I only listened to Reggie Wright. Yeah, I know that ain't true either, but that's mostly who I listen to. And if you're a smart person, that's who you'll listen to as well. Bomb First and Reggie Wright, right? Okay. So I ran across this video one day, and I heard it, and I was like, oh. Because I used to sit up here, because I didn't remember. Y'all got to remember, when I first started doing the interviews as often as John and I have been doing it, on live streams, just on live streams. That was like, I think, 2017. Sometime in 2017, okay. And then, me and John only been doing these on camera interviews daily, consistently now for about a little bit over 2 years, 2.5 years. So, and I always get caught in at least once or twice a video, comment section. I always get asked the question, why you disarm the security? Why you disarm the security? When are you going to address that? Which, anybody been around though, I done addressed that at least, I ain't going to exaggerate, 50 times. I'll just say 50. I usually say 100, 1,000. But maybe 50 times I have to address that, right? And so I was listening to that, I was like, and I used to just say, I didn't disarm security. This is what happened. This is what happened. Listen to Frank Book. It would always be my response. But when I heard this interview, I was like, damn. I've been up here defending myself with this disarming of security. And this is what Frank is actually saying. And this is what actually happened. And it wasn't the bodyguards, as he kind of was trying to tell y'all without saying it, when he just named the other 3 people that was going to keep their guns. And did he even go longer and talk about how he had his gun in the car and why he didn't have the gun with him when this stuff happened? But I have been sitting here allowing you guys to say I disarmed the security and I did this and this is why I'm culpable for the death of Tupac and all of that. And I'm the worst security guard ever. I'm not a security guard. I own a security guard company. But okay, And all of that. And I've been just sitting back and taking that and listening to all of that. And when I heard this, I was just like, man, wow. I knew about what he wrote in the book, but I didn't know he actually talked about it. So that would be my only take. I can care less about the conspiracy stuff. If y'all really want to keep it real. That what you believe about me being involved with the Tupac stuff, it's enough of my audio out there denying that to my family and my kids, who ultimately are all I really did it for, my grandkids. It's enough audio of me out there denying it. So those of y'all that still believe or want to believe or whatever, get a kickoff on believing or ripen it, I can really give a fuck. The Biggie Smalls thing I have always denied, but I tell y'all know my opinion on the Biggie Smalls stuff. Who gives a, right? That's my opinion about being involved in that case or name coming up in that. So my point is, my thoughts is, hey, this is what's out there. Y'all hear it, take it. And this will be the video whenever you say we don't address the real question. I got a real question for Reggie. John always asking him the soft questions. He don't ask what we're really here for. Well, I guess that would be your question. But I thought when Keefy D got arrested that all of this nonsense would go away. The people that was pushing it has, Nick Broomfield, oh, I was wrong. I got it wrong. He got an article in the Rolling Stone saying that. R.J. Bonds, MIA, can't find him. Yeah, he's figuring I done made enough money off you niggas. and shit, I'm on to something else. And all the other conspirators and, snitch joke. He's on to something else now. Let him go be on Beyonce and all that conspiracy stuff. And hey, all I got to say is that would be my take. I'm not going to address too much of y'all conspiracy stuff no more. Hopefully by December, when Tupac killer Keefy D is finally locked up, plead out, do his confession, or found guilty by a jury of his peers, we can be on to something else. Or I can go into the wind. Because I probably don't have no more death row stories. As Adam 22 say, that's all I'm good for, right? And so, hey, we'll see what happens. See where we at in December. Peace.
I wanted to get your reaction to something Suge said on his podcast, which was that he has gotten a new lawyer, a female lawyer, and he doesn't want to mention their name because he doesn't want people to run this young lady off, but that with the help of her, that he'll be home soon. What do you think?
Well, I hope so. Hope it's true. I don't want Suge in prison, y'all. Contrary to what y'all believe, I'm not fearful of Suge, and I don't believe Suge should be in jail or in prison as long as he has been for an accident. I still say that's an accident. It was stupid. It was unfortunate. Sorry for the Terry Carter family and all of that, but that was an accident. That was an accident. And the other charges that he had pending, with the photographer and all of that, I'm not one to believe that deserving of the time that Suge has been in prison. Suge has been in prison, jail and prison together for almost 9.5 years. I think justice has been served on all three of those cases. And only because I say that for the death of Terry Carter is because I really believe that was an accident. That was not Suge's intentions. So me saying that to say about the attorneys, and Suge saying that they didn't allow him to be pro per, and he's been a college graduate. Well, number one, stop it, Suge. Stop it. Don't let me expose that. Don't let me expose that. But I ain't going to go into there. I ain't going to kill your thunder about being a college graduate. But my whole take is the preferred thing is this shit. Not taking what was the name of that episode? Accountability. Suge had 15 attorneys, y'all. Did y'all forget? There were 15 attorneys on that case. And they all got ran off or fired or resigned on him. Why? Because Suge don't like to hear negative stuff. He gets frustrated when you're not listening to his way of life or his way of thinking. And he will get rid of you in a heartbeat. And that's what happened with all those cases or those particular attorneys that was on his case. So, hey, I hope there's some legal reasoning that should be off. I know of a situation, and I tried to tell him before, where he could call in a particular attorney. And I'm going to remind you of this. There was a particular attorney that you had me hire that dropped the ball. Or maybe I dropped the ball. Well, I think it was him and you and I, because we were just doing too much. And I convinced you to give him a $5,000 retainer. And we gave him a $5,000 because we was trying to go and get the 2 strikes removed. Y'all don't know, Suge and David Kenner was running around so much and doing things where after a year of Suge being on probation, the judge has said he could went in and filed for those 2 strikes to be dropped down to a misdemeanor. He never did that for whatever reason. I don't know why. But when I was going through his case and learned that, and I said, hey, Suge, why didn't y'all go and have those cases, take them before the judge to get dropped to a misdemeanor? And he was like, oh, I don't know, I forgot. And so I said, well, let me hire this attorney and see if he can go and try to get this done. This is like in 98, maybe, when I tried to intervene and have it done. And even and Suge kept dealing with this particular attorney, and he was still working on it after I left. But then they fell out because Suge elected to use another attorney in like 2003, 2004 for his probation hearing. And pretty much he used that attorney to give attorney visits and to bring in females and bring in people to visit him. And then he going to use David Chesnoff and somebody else to be the attorney at the hearing. And then he did get found guilty and had to go do 9 months on that violation. So I'm saying all that to say that would be the route that I would go to say, hey, I was trying to get these strikes dropped down to misdemeanors, and the judge had put on record that these could be misdemeanor, dropped to a misdemeanor. Hence, people talk to Suge. Y'all listening? This is the type of shit y'all should be reporting to Suge, since Reggie and him ain't talking, because Reggie knows all of this shit where y'all don't know this shit. But this isn't an argument for this new attorney to have for him. To be like, hey, he was misrepresented by all the attorneys that were just taking money from him and never going to court and following up when he shouldn't be 2 strikes. These should be 2 misdemeanors. Throw y'all a little softball. That would be something that I think that this new female attorney should be exploring. And I'll be like, well, what sense do that make? What do that make? Well, I know. It's because the reason why he got an extra 10 years is because he had those 2 strikes. If he would only have 1 strike or no strikes, then the time wouldn't have got doubled to get the extra 10 years, which he get 10 years knocked off. He's a free man because he only had 10 years left on the sentence. His sentence date is 2034. So that would be my take. I know your question pretty much, John, and I elect this to talk to somebody in particular. But I know your particular take on this was, what did I think about him having a new attorney and him being not wanting to mention her name because maybe people he think like rich people or powerful people or intimidating attorneys and all of that in the past. I don't believe that was what's happening. I believe it's Suge Knight just being stubborn and being Suge that's been running off the attorneys. But if there's somebody right now that's he feel comfortable for representing him and handling this matter, good luck. Say a prayer for him, y'all. And make some prayers will be my take. Because as much shit as I talk about him, he's still a father, a husband, have loved ones, a brother. His daddy is still alive. Need to spend time with his father like I try to do with my father now because they are getting up there in age. And I want to see Suge continue his life and not to be in prison for the 10 years for something that I feel he shouldn't have to be in there for, no matter my opinion, no matter what I have said about you in the past. Just get off that free Keefy D bullshit, and then we'll be all good. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, I know Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are doing their press junket tour for their newest movie, one of the Bad Boys movies. I don't know if it's 3 or 4, whatever it is. But people were saying that Martin looks and acts strange. I know he came out and said he was healthy.
Thank you for saying that we look good and that I look good because there's a rumor out there that I had a stroke. Man, man. That's totally not true. So I just want to clear that up. But I thank everybody for the concern and the love and just thank you. But Marty's all good.
Marty's all right. There's also a rumor, and I wasn't going to bring it up, that you're a clone. That was the one that I heard that you've been cloned.
Well, that's AI.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get your thoughts if you had any opinions on that.
Yeah, Martin Lawrence had a stroke. You can look at his mouth until he had a stroke. Anybody that deny he didn't have a stroke or don't believe he had a stroke, well, okay. I didn't have a stroke. I'm suffering from COVID conditions or the effects from COVID. Being fucked up, and but I think I had a stroke, and they just ain't telling me, or just don't know. The way my body functions are, every time I go to therapy and stuff, and get a new therapist, they be like, "Oh, you had a stroke?" And I'll be like, "They say no, but I think I did." So I say all that to say, yeah, Martin had a stroke, but man, the bigger person than this, when he had that stroke, I don't know. Martin has been MIA on us really for about 6 or 7 years, if you really think about it, other than this particular Bad Boys series, right? So if he had the stroke prior to them filming Bad Boys 2, or Bad Boys 4, right? Shout out to Will Smith, right? For carrying him along and going through all of that with him, because you can tell he, like Daz did with Corrupt, when I thought Corrupt was in bad shape, was helping and coaching Martin along through all the interviews. And Will could have easily said, hey, man, I want a new partner, or we got to kill off Martin, or we got to put him in the hospital or something, because I don't feel like carrying him, because y'all don't know when people have the conditions and stuff like Martin has and I have, or like that, it's a lot of help that you got to help these people with. You can't just show up, do your job, and leave. It's some takes and breaks and help me get up and help me stand up, help me get in this chair and help me do that. That goes a lot along with people that's in these positions. And trust me, for them to do a movie of that magnitude, Will had to have a lot of patience with Martin. Now, that's if, I don't know when Bad Boy 4 started getting filmed. It had to be at least 2 years ago, right? 2.5 years ago. If Martin just had the stroke recently, then that would make sense to why Will, didn't object or put up a big fuss about, maybe not doing the movie or for, requesting a new co-host or star. But then we got to remember Will wasn't in a position to be making a lot of demands either after the Chris Tucker incident, right? So maybe they both helped each other career out and got us both thinking about Bad Boys 4 or Martin Stroke versus then we then all forgot about Will getting up slapping the shit out of Chris Tucker, right? And embarrassing, another black man like that at a major event, worldwide event. So that would be my only take. Hey, man, if Martin is fighting any type of medical conditions, then prayers to Martin, because Martin, Eddie, Will, and all of them in the mid-'90s, those were the stars, man. Those were, of course, Denzel, and people like that were our stars. And they gave us a lot of laughter over the years. So hopefully Martin is doing well. Prayers out to Martin. And but it's obvious Martin had a stroke, and that would be my take from how he's acting and what he's been, the way he's been going, been talking in his interviews or not talking in his interviews. Yeah.
Okay. Suge in his podcast, you kind of touched on this in a previous segment, but he shouted out some rappers like Kendrick, Mustard, and then some other guys. Did you have any opinions or insight on the people he did shout out, or do you think those are just people that he genuinely likes their music?
Yeah, well, he was right on about Mustard and Kendrick, right on. Like I said, I always love his commentary when he do stuff like that. I just question his authenticity when he say stuff like that. Because y'all notice everybody that he shouted out that were like underground artists were were Bloods or Pyru related. And my point is, when he was on top of the world and he had the chance to put Pyrus or Bloods in those situations, he neglected to do that. He didn't. And that would be my only take to, was it real? Were the particular rappers who he really wanted, or was because they were Red related, is why he shouted them out and threw that out because of his situation and him trying to get the red card behind him. Would be my take, what I observed from that, the people that he mentioned. But hey, if that's what it takes, if, we all have lived and learned from our past. But yeah, this would be my take for sure. That's just Reggie catching him and saying, nigga, when you had the chance, you ain't never blew up a Paru or a Blood. And now that you couldn't get a motherfucker a deal if your life depended on it, now you want to throw out shout outs to them. That's what I caught from it. And so, yeah, that would be my only take.
Okay, Reggie, we have Munchie B on the line. I know you guys have kind of like spoken back and forth, through videos or whatever. But I wanted to see if you guys had stuff that you guys wanted to talk about and maybe clear the air.
Yeah. Well, first, I would just like to address this to show. Munchie B, through our boy Alex Alonso, a mutual friend, reached out to me and was like, hey, why you and Munchie B got this nonsense going on? And Munchie B and I talked, and I think we done came to a mutual agreement the way, hey, we really don't have no beef with each other. It was just a big misunderstanding. And I think, I'm hoping, my goal is that it's squashed and it's left here. And because, as I have always said, and even when I was talking shit about him, everything that I heard about him as his I don't like to call people game bangers or game members, but I think he do refer to himself as an ex-game member or a game member. I'm not going to say I'll let him adjust that. He was authentic with it. From anybody that I have spoken with him and spoken about him. And y'all know I'm a little partial to the red side of the game banging stuff. And so anyone that's, in my mind, that's authentic with it, I don't need to be having beef with. And I don't want to have beef with. And that's on either side, to be honest. But Munchie B, I'm glad. Welcome to Bomb First. And man, I just wanted to let people know how I felt. And you can just say what you had to say, and we can just leave it there so people will know where Reggie and Munchie B is. Not saying that we got to be partners or anything like that, because everybody know what my past is, and your past is, and your feelings. So, yeah.
Hey, no, basically, I'll let you know when I was on No Jumper, you know what I'm saying? When the whole thing, the disgrace cop thing, we was throwing out different scenarios and shit.
Correct.
Is it all right to tell them the police, boom, boom, boom. I threw the scenario out there, and I kicked back, I let everybody rebuttal. Then that's when John did his own thing, and then I did my thing. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, Alex Alonso, we had leaked his in, we had hollered or whatever. But I was really tripping because I'm listening to this, to the oh boy, have his little, I don't know what you want to call that, but he was out here lashing out the boy Snoopy or whatever, trying to get his shit off, and use the fact that he wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he backed off that shit.
Well, and that might have been my doing as little well, because when I go to war or when I have a beef with people, then I'm one of those that believe an enemy of my enemy is my friend. And so I might have brought Snoopy into that situation. But of course, he, gladly would love to have spoken on you because of whatever situation you and him have going on right now.
Yeah, no, I really pity him though. That he got some little mental health shit going on mixed with a drug problem. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, I would know exactly where he at. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to do nothing to him like that. He a joke for real. He a joke for real.
Well, respect. Well, like I said, I just really wanted to get in there to let people know where we at, because I know you have friends that's loyal to you, and we need to just let people know that this ain't no major beef going on between us anymore, and that I extend the olive branch, and we say, hey, let's be men. Let me try to be an adult, respectable man. You can keep doing what you're doing, because I actually like what you're doing over there with Street TV and Alex Alonso on your channel, and I wish you had best success.
Shout out Alex for giving me a platform to do my thing. Richard Hart, shout out Mariah and shit. You know what I'm saying? On everything.
Well, cool. Well, Munchie B, whenever we like to do our live stream interviews, and hopefully one day we can get together, do a live stream interview where you can take Q&A questions with people, and if there's anybody you ever want to reach out to like Alex did to us, because I know you have a few issues going on with people that I'm associated with, and if we ever need to squash the beefs, man, trust me, Reggie Wright is more than willing to try to intervene and try to make stuff like that happen. And so shout out again to Alex Alonso for being the bigger man and bringing two brothers together.
All right, man. Hey, man, shout out you too, Snoopy, man. I'm going to leave your baby mama alone, man. She gave me some man a long time ago, bro. It ain't even updated, so I ain't going to talk about it no more. So, man, get over it, man. It's all right, bro.
All right. Respect, Munchie B.
All right, man.
Yep.